Raj.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, I was just leaving. I was keeping the seat warm for you.
Oh, I was gonna say, are you all here for me?
I know.
No, you're all here for Emmanuel. That's okay.
No. We're just wrapping up. Patrick, Denise had a question about her GSMLS login ID. Where would she find that? Is that in Scott Leroy, or does she have to cover off with Sam?
No, you should have gotten an email from Garden State MLS
Oh,
with your
God.
login information. Yeah, the Scott Leroy does all your command, DocuSign, Gmail, GSMLS.
Yeah, I did all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I'm just
went
trying
over
to
the
sign
Scott
in.
Leroy one more time.
Oh no, I'm just trying to sign into everything, and I saw the email from Scott Leroy, and I signed everything up for DocuSign and all that other stuff, and even the RPR, but I didn't see anything from the MLS yet.
Yeah, the MLS should have sent you an email, but touch base with Sam Hansen. He's
Okay.
your guy to make sure you get all your login stuff, but MLS sends their own email.
Yeah. All right, that's what I thought. I also
Cool.
wasn't sure which email I was going to send it to, like if I was going to send it to the Keller Williams email or my personal email, because I'm kind of it's all over the place.
Check both because you filled out a MLS membership application when you onboarded.
Yes.
So it's probably your personal email because you didn't have a KW email on the day that you onboarded.
True.
So
Okay, I'll just keep an eye on it.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
You're
Have
welcome.
a cool class. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye. You guys all here for the CMA and RPR class? Oh my gosh. We should have more snow days.
What a snow day will do for Tech It 2.
For real. All right, cool. I'm just gonna give it like two more minutes and see if anyone else hops on. I ended up making my way to the Roxbury office at 12.
Why?
I was at my girlfriend's last night thinking if we had to come to work today, it was a much easier drive. But she ended up getting sick. So I was like, well, I'm out of here.
That's very caring of you.
Oh, but last night I got her some soup. I got her some
Okay.
Pedialyte. I got her some cough drops, some Advil, a big jug of water. I left it all at her bedside, and I was like, "Give me a call if you need anything." So I'm out of here.
I'll Instacart it over.
No, I feel bad for her though. I had to cancel my Valentine's Day dinner reservation. That's not happening.
Aw.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, now you get to go out to the same dinner a week later, and it won't be a limited menu.
That's true. It's also her birthday next week, so now I can just double dip.
Terrible.
Kidding,
It's being recorded. I'm sending this to her.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, it is. All right, gonna hang up and come back. All right, wow, what a turnout. All right, cool. I'm gonna share my screen. We are doing the CMA in RPR, which is an awesome tool, and I use this all the time, even if people don't ask for it. Send it over. I put it in a nice little packet. I send it in the mail and put something on there saying, you know, this is obviously without me seeing your property, but if you have any questions, give me a call. But there's a lot of good information that we can put in here. So we're going to start at going to NAR RPR.com. And if it asks you to log in, right here. There we go. Hang on. Can you guys, you see my screen, right?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So your login information is your login for NAR. So with NAR, you have a username and a password. If you've never gone on RPR before, just click down here, click create a new account. And you could set it up pretty easily. But this is being recorded. So if you don't have an account, you can check this out here and then come back to the recording and try and do it yourself. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always give me a call. So we're going to sign in. And at the top, if there's a specific address you want to make a CMA for, you can type in the address in this location section up at the top where the search bar is. So for example, I will do this one. I think this is someone's, actually, no, you know what? Someone give me an address. Oh, you know what? Here, we'll do this one. Okay, so you type in the address and we're going to select it from the drop-down menu right here. So I'm going to click on 4 Walker Ave in Succasunna. Here we go. It looks a lot nicer than this now. My parents flipped this house. I don't think I made a report for it yet. Okay, so cool. Real quick though, before we go into the CMA, I want to show you what some of this stuff means on the right-hand side. So you're going to have a preview of the house on the left. These are usually photos from Google Maps, so the street view. So if they look a little odd or if it looks blurry or anything like that, we can't really change these photos. These are just photos from a street view on Google Maps. So whenever Google updates their stuff, we'll get this stuff updated here. The last time this property was closed, it tells you at the top right, it's off market, so it's not currently active. It tells us it was last sold in 2022. The closed price, $496, gives you the square footage, the lot size. And then down here, we have this RVM. That's a little link. We'll get to that later. But the RVM, if you put your mouse over that little I button, it's an auto valuation model. It's kind of like a Zestimate for RPR, except my opinion is that it's a lot more accurate because it uses comps and it tells us what comps it's using. A lot of people with, this is kind of funny, a lot of people with a Zestimate or, like a realtor.com estimate and stuff like that, those websites are not telling you what properties they're using to come up with that number. So you have no idea where that number came from. At least with the RVM, when we go into creating the CMA, this will tell you what properties are used in the RVM evaluation and what properties are not. So we'll get into that later. And on the right-hand side, it gives us a confidence level. So if this is only 3 stars, then this number probably isn't really that good. But this is 5 stars, saying this is probably really close to what the house is actually worth based on the comps that we have. You have owners' names, the property type. And when we scroll down to the bottom, there's this yellow button that says CMA value and an option to create a CMA. So we're going to click on that right there, create CMA. So at the top, again, we have all of our property summary, property size, the date it was built, the estimated amount before we do our CMA, and the date. I don't know what that date is, 1/30/2024. Oh, that's the date that all this information was entered. That's the last time this information was updated. So then we're going to do the comparative analysis. We'll select on that one. And I don't know the difference between those two. Okay, we're going to do the CMA because that's how we want to adjust the properties. That's the difference, is how you adjust your comparables, but we're not even going to worry about that. So we'll do comparative analysis. And the first step that we want to do is we want to confirm the home facts. So we're going to click on confirm facts right here. And you're going to put in everything you know about the home. And anything with a little asterisk right here is what's needed to help you build your CMA. These are the most important. So these asterisks, it says right up here, these are used to find comps. So the property type, we're going to confirm it's a single family. Bedrooms, it is a 3-bedroom. And you could figure this stuff out by pulling up an old MLS, if there is one, or checking tax records and stuff like that. For this example, I know this house is a 3-bedroom. So I'm just going to plug this stuff in. It's a 1 full bath, 1 half bath. Oops. 2 baths, 1 full, 1 partial. Living square footage. We'll just assume that's correct through the tax records. We'll plug that in there. And then anything else down here, like is there a pool? This property, there is one. Is there a garage? Yes, there's one. Basement square footage, there's no basement. Split level. Oh, no, there is a basement, but I don't know the square footage, so I'm not going to put that in. You're built. Okay. So as long as all the ones with the asterisks are finished, then we have a pretty solid foundation. Anything else is just extra. And it's not really going to make that big of a difference, but it's helpful to have it in here. Any questions so far? So we're going to go to the bottom and click on confirm facts and close. So now it takes us back to this page here. These are our steps. So it says home facts. We have a little check mark. Updated. We're good to go. Next step is to search for comps. So we're going to click on find comps right here. That's step number 2. And you have 2 options up at the top. You can add a property that you want to use as a comp. So if you've got a number in your mind, or if you've got these comps that you just want to use right away, you can take MLS numbers and just plug them in here and click on add. So let me just pull up an MLS number real quick and just show you how easy it is to add one. So I'll do Morris, I'll do Roxbury, sold, I'll do 3 beds, 2 baths, 1 bath, single family, split level. Or split level. Oh, there it is. Okay. Search. Okay, so let's say I want to use this one, 63 Uniberg Ave. I can just copy 3856846, and I can just paste that MLS ID right here and click add. Oh, come on. Three eight five 6846. Oh my God. Okay, that one worked. So 11 Joyce Drive worked. I don't know why this one didn't work. 3856846. Okay, so we added 11 Joyce Drive. And once we added the MLS ID, now it pops up on the right-hand side, 11 Joyce Drive. And then it starts giving you a range based on the comps that we have down here. So once you start adding more and more comps, so now I'll add like 23 Toby, 3875954. I hope this one works. Okay, cool. So 23 Toby is added down here. So now our range is changing. All right, so you can easily just pick your comps right from the MLS, just take the MLS numbers and plug them into this bar at the top and click on add. And it will add those properties on the right-hand side. You could add the MLS number, or you could add an address if you wanted to. Or you could search for all the properties right here through RPR. So you can just click on, ooh, who's got a message for me here? Lucy, yes, you will be able to view the recording. Hopefully I can get it up this afternoon. It takes like an hour or so for these videos to process, and then I can put them on YouTube, and that takes some extra time also. So if not today, then by tomorrow. We could search for an area for several properties. So you can do property status, active, pending, under contract, or closed. And then we can show single family. Scroll down, we'll do off market date. I like to do within the last 6 months. Anything that's checked off down here is going to be used to find your comps. So if we have beds here, I'm going to change that to 3 and a max of 3, a minimum of 1 bathroom. I'm going to uncheck the living area square footage because our MLS doesn't always have the square footage on the listing. So I don't want to limit my results. So I'm going to uncheck that. And depending on the results that I get back, I'm gonna leave lot size checked off. If I get too many results back, I'll narrow it down by selecting a similar lot size. But for now, I'm just gonna start with beds and baths here. You could sort by a price range, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Same with year built. I'm not gonna worry about that either. So I'm gonna click on search. And look at that. So now we've got all these comps, and these are closed in the last 6 months. And see, we have these little stars right here, and it says used in RVM. So that means RPR is using this comp, and this comp to create that RVM value of $502,000. These are pretty good. So if I want to add these to my comp list, I can just check off this one, and this one, and this one, plug them in. These 2 are pending, which you can use these as well. So 3 bed, 2 bath. We'll use that one. This one's not used in my RVM, but let's say I think it's a good fit. I can just check that one off and throw that in as well. All right, so those are the 5 properties that RPR has found that meet what we're looking for here. So once I select my comps, I can click on update valuation and close. Which takes us back to our steps right here. And this will give us now an average. This button used to say find comps. Now it gives us an average of all of our comps, which is 502,942. So the cool part is with RPR, you get to adjust the comps and determine are the comparable properties that we're looking at, are they better or worse than the subject property that we're evaluating? So to do that, we're going to go to adjustments here and we're going to click on adjust comps. So if 55 Hillside, if we think that's a better property, it's on a main road, I know that for sure. And our subject property is not. So I might say that this property is slightly worse than the subject property. Do you guys hear that? There's someone singing outside of the Roxbury office. Do you hear it? Okay, so if 55 South Hillside is worse than our subject property, we'll tick this bar down to say worse. And at the bottom, you'll see the adjustments. Since we just said that property was worse, that bumped our subject property up by $3,700 to 506,640. If I say it's the same, then we're back at our 502,942. If this property is way better than our subject property, it's going to drop our price by 14,794. So I'm going to say this one's a little bit worse. Does that make sense to everyone? Anyone have questions on that?
Yeah, but how would you, if you're, I mean, how would you even know if you don't know the area? How would you even begin to make adjustments?
Well, that's the key thing, I guess, is that if you don't know the area, then maybe you shouldn't be comping out a house without seeing it or without knowing the area. Or you could also look at the MLS. You could look at the photos. If you know your subject property, maybe your client or this lead calls you and says, I just updated my kitchen. I repaved my driveway. I just put in a new AC. I got a brand new pool. You know, they did all these adjustments.
Mhm.
And then you look at these photos of past listings. If the kitchen's not updated, if it's all carpet and not hardwood, if there's no pool, you can make those evaluations yourself. You have access to the photos right here.
Okay,
You can scroll through here, but
gotcha.
this does involve a little bit of research. Actually, this one's way worse. I know this house has a
Okay.
great kitchen. So this one's on a main road. Nothing about this one is updated. Not a good one.
Hmm.
This one here, it's a ranch, probably better than a split level. Not as updated though. So you're going to go through here. You're going to change your comps. You're going to adjust whether they're better or worse. This one's probably about the same. And then it's nice because it's got all the features of the home. Total number of rooms, it's all in columns here. Number of garage spaces, the year that it was built, the total number of rooms, the type of roofing, the type of heating, the type of AC, basement, type of basement, the type of siding. So you'll see everything about these properties as well in this list.
Patrick,
Yeah.
you at the end of this have like 3 separate reports where there's like the comps for the sold, the under contract, and the active, or it's just all together like this?
No, it'll be all together.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So once you finish adjusting your comps, and again, that's going to take a little research and you might need to know a little bit more about the area if you're going to really do this in detail. If you don't know anything about the area, just leave them all at the same and just say, I need to see your home to make a more educated decision on what I think your home is worth. Don't adjust these then if you're not comfortable with the area and stuff and the other homes and stuff like that. It's going to tell you your adjustments brought the property up by $5,926, and you're going to click on update valuation and close.
Hey, Patrick, quick question.
What's up, Kayla?
Hi. When it comes down to like bathrooms, right? Like let's say one has like yours has a one bath and a half bath, and the other one has 2 full baths and like just 2 full baths. Do you think that's not a dramatic price increase, right? Like how would you, I always get so confused.
No, so I think it depends because it all comes down to the actual situation that you're in. Like I know for a fact that in Roxbury, all of these split levels have one full bathroom on the second floor and one half bathroom on the lower level of the split. So
Mhm.
all of those are probably going to be very similar. If you've got a
Okay.
colonial, that's a 4-bedroom and there's 3 full baths. So then there's another one that's got 1.5 baths. Of course, that's going to make a little
Okay,
bit of
yeah, I
difference
see. The
because,
style makes a difference too.
right, the style's
Okay,
going to make a difference. Right.
okay,
You gotta
thank
do like, right?
Right. Yeah. Like a split level should be compared with a bi-level and another
Mhm.
split level. A colonial, I would, unless I was absolutely desperate, I wouldn't be comparing bi-levels or split levels to a colonial.
What is the one drop down they have for the odd sized house? What do they call it?
Cape Cod.
No,
Custom?
thank you.
Custom?
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
That
Thank
was a
you.
wild
I
guess.
had my brain froze. Yeah. So I
But
just stick with it. Colonial to colonial, condo to condo. Otherwise it gets crazy.
yeah, you should always try to keep it like for like. And always try to keep it in it should always be in the same school district. So try and keep it. If anything, go back like a year if you absolutely have to find some results, but don't start changing towns and school districts and stuff like that, because those are the more important things. I mean, I hope that answered your question, but I mean, coming up with a CMA is a little tricky sometimes if you don't have the right comps. But like I said, it depends on the situation. If there's a split level that's got 2 full baths, I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, that's not really gonna make a big difference to me in the value of a split level. Depends on the area. know.
Is there an option though to like if you wanted to just search within the school district, is that like an option too? Can you
No,
create like a CMA just for that?
not in RPR.
Oh, okay.
No. If you have a question about what school district the house falls in, I think you could do that in the KW website. You can search the school district and it will show that on the map. And as long as you know where that house is, you can determine is it in that area or not. And of course, you can always call the town if you need to confirm.
Okay. Or like we can do it with the other MLS as well, or
The MLS, I wouldn't trust the MLS.
no?
Agent could put the wrong school district on the listing.
Mhm.
Don't trust another person's work. I would do that research yourself for sure. Yeah. Good question though. And now at the bottom, when we're finished, we're going to click on create report. And that's going to take us to this page right here. And we're going to have checked off automatically the seller's report. And look at that, 81 pages. We're not going to do that. That's crazy. So we're going to go over here to where it says customize, this little plus button. And I've narrowed these down to show the property values, the listing price, the comp analysis result that we got, along with a range. Definitely make sure you put a range in there. If you don't have the range, it's just saying, okay, this is what your house is worth. Always have a range, because then it kind of protects you. You're not saying this is what you have to sell the house for. You're saying it probably falls anywhere between X and Y, A and B, right? So I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds if you want to write these down. I've got subject property summary, and I have everything checked off except estimated value change. So that's going to show plus or minus. That's going to show my adjustments essentially. I don't necessarily want someone seeing that I said that their house is worse than every single one I compared it to. So I unchecked that one. So I unchecked estimated value range, comp analysis result, and comp analysis range. So take a photo of that with your cell phone if you'd like. I don't have home facts. That tells you everything about the home that we entered in, beds, baths, stuff like that. I don't like to put that in there. I just think it's a page that's not totally necessary. Extended home facts, interior, exterior. It'll have the schools associated with the property on there, actually. You just can't filter that on your report when you're looking for comps. You can't filter it by school district. But this extended home facts will show you the schools with the property. AARP livability index, don't need that. Refined value, property photos, historical photos, property history, assessed values, mortgage records. I don't put any of this stuff in there. Price change history, sales and financing activity. You could put that in there if you want to. But I just try to make this not bulky. I like to just show, here's your home, here's what I think it's worth, here are the comps, give me a call.
Right.
We have market activity. This is a great page. It shows the median home value, days on market, estimated listing price, all that stuff. I uncheck market health charts and comparisons. I've got my comps. Recent market activity, it's going to show everything in that market, everything that's listed, everything that recently sold, anything that's distressed. It's going to show all of that on here, along with the recent market activity grid. All these down here, all of these market activity, that's going to show every single active listing, every single pending sale, every single recently sold, every single distressed, every single expired. I don't include those because if it's not a comp, I don't want it on there. And then down here, I have recommended pricing strategy, the refined value calculation, and the comp analysis calculation. So you'll see that down there. And if you want to include this seller's net sheet, you definitely could. I like to put this in an actual listing presentation, and I'll do that with them. So that's up to you. That's why I have it unchecked. I like to sit down and say, how much do you owe if we sell the house for this? And I take it for 6%, you know what I'm saying? And then calculate the fees. This is how much you'd end up at the end of the day. How do you like that number? Like, oh, cool. Right. So I do that at the listing presentation. I like to do that face to face. And then always have about RPR and our data at the bottom. That's how you cite your work. So I check that one off. So once you guys uncheck all those, every time you come back in here and create a CMA, these will by default be selected like this. I didn't come in here and do this today. As you saw, this is how it loaded, everything that I have set up here. So you only have to uncheck all these things once, and that report will be like that every time you run it, which is nice.
You could do it really quickly.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Kayla likes the 6%. Thumbs up, Kayla.
Yeah. Thumbs up for that.
So now down here at the bottom, you could add your client's name. So I can check off include recipient name, and I can put dear, I don't know, Bolger family. You can leave a little note. And then the coolest thing about this is you can download this whole report as a PDF, or you can email it directly to whoever you want to send it to. So if you've got a past client, if you've got a lead who just wants to know what their home is worth and they're like, I don't want to meet, just tell me what it's worth, you can just email that right there. I like to do display now and send it in the mail. I bind it, I put it in a little tiny book, I put my information on it, I make a whole packet on here. So when we're ready, I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'm going to click run report at the bottom left. And it says that this report is running, and a little pop-up message will show up when it's ready. You hear this little doorbell noise. I'm going to turn my volume all the way up, so I hope that you guys hear it. There it is. Did you guys hear that? Oh, the doorbell went off. Okay, so I'm going to click download report. And here we go. So it's going to have your logo up at the top. It's going to have the client's name up at the top there as well, along with the address, the photo that we saw there. It's going to have your face, your name, your number, your office address, your real estate license number, all that stuff from your profile. And then my note down here, I thought you'd be interested in what your property is worth in today's market. Give me a call if you'd like to discuss further. So right here, we've got the property, and here's our comp analysis, 508,868. Your comp analysis range, 400 to 773. That protects us right there. A nice big range. And they have this citation down here, data information that's publicly available, blah, 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 blah. So we're citing our sources here. This is our market activity page. So the estimated median home value is 595, which is up 10.8% compared with last year, 2023. Median listing price, 595, up 30%. Days in RPR, 23, up 9.5%, not good. Sales volume is 3, which is down 40%. So closings are down 40% from the last year. List price versus sales price. This is showing you how many days on market your people are getting above listing price in 31 to 60 days, 61 to 90 days, 91 to 120 days, and more than 120 days, you're getting less than 1.1% below typically. And then the number of sales based on how many days on market, which is pretty interesting. Down here is our seller's report. So we have, this is cool. It shows us the subject property is this black one right here. This black pin. The black circle with the blue inside is a pending property. The blue circle is a for sale. Red circle is distressed. Blue square is a recent sale, and a purple bluish square, gray square is off market. So that's shows us what our comps are. And now we're going to go into this sheet here, which puts our comps side by side. So your clients, your leads can see this one sold for 470. This was 429. This was 440. So they can take a look at all those, the description, the square footage, and notice all this information that's in this light blue here. We entered that in. So those were our edits. That's why when we're confirming those facts on the first page, you want to put as much info as you can on there, just to fill up this column right here. Right, and here's page 2 of our comps. And now it's going to go into every single comp one by one. And what's cool about this is going to show the picture of the property on the front. And then on the right-hand side, it's going to show where that property is compared to our subject property. It's got their description, the listing facts, the year that it was built, and the date that it closed, and for what price. It also tells you how many days it was on market, 78. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. So now it goes into detail for every single comp, which is nice. And now we have the recent market activity. And this is just going to show everything that's distressed or recently sold, for sale, for lease, pending across all of that zip code. So this is the only market summary I'm doing. Remember all those 5 check boxes we unchecked that were market activity? If we kept those checked off, it would have gone into detail for every listing and every recent sold, a 1-pager for every property that's on this map. So that's what adds 20-something pages to your report. Here's our recommended pricing strategy. Adjusted value, 508. It asks you for your sellers to sign here and the broker or agent to sign here. You don't need them to sign there. This is not a listing agreement. And then we have about RPR in our data. And that's the end of the report. So it's a lot of really good information in here. And it
So
breaks all
Patrick.
down one by one. Yay. Hey, Bernadette.
Hi. So I think one of the best things about RPR is it incorporates the square footage, whereas MLS does not bring in that information from the state records.
Right.
So RPR gets that stuff from the public records. Yeah, the tax records.
Right. I meant the tax records. Right. So that's very important.
Yeah. No, it's a nice touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the
It's
best
just-
thing about
It's definitely a lot more professional than just printing out the MLS sheets too.
Right.
This
that's what I was
is
just
so
gonna
much
say.
better.
These look like we spent hours and hours putting this together, making it look all nice. It's branded. It's got our faces on it. It's got your logo on it. It's clean. And look how quickly it took us to do. I mean, what was it? 34 minutes?
Right.
Minutes and-
What I do, I take MLS and then I do use Auto and I do a spreadsheet, and it's a lot of work, but it doesn't pull the square footage from the tax records. So I have to get the square footage on my own, whereas this actually has all that information.
Yeah. And this is a lot easier in my opinion, especially like when I actually do this, I don't let RPR find the comps. I've got an agenda here. I pick the comps I want and I put those on the report so I can show people what I think the actual comps are. So I'll just go into the MLS, I'll find active, pending, closed, and I'll copy those MLS numbers and put them in there.
So
And
that's
even-
how you start. I missed the beginning of the
Yeah.
training. I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
you go
no.
to MLS first. You pick the comps. Okay.
Yep, I'll pick
Perfect.
the comps in the MLS, and then I'll
Mhm.
just, you have an option, let RPR search for comps, and then you can
Right.
choose through RPR, or you could just enter the address or the MLS ID right into RPR and just add those as comps.
I think that's perfect. Great.
So, and that's why I have this page up, Bernadette. These are all just different solds in Roxbury. So you can just copy those MLS IDs, throw them into RPR, and now you've got the comps that you want to highlight to your seller. I think it's a lot
Right.
easier to do it that way. And I have noticed, because no program is perfect, I have noticed that sometimes in RPR, some comps are missing. Sometimes I can't find them. So
Mm,
that's why I go back and just do it through the MLS. I pick mine and then I throw it in.
great.
And even when you do that, when you choose those comps through the MLS, it's going to make a page like this for that comp that you chose. It doesn't have to come from RPR for this kind of page to pop out.
Mhm.
So it's a really awesome report.
You know what I think too is like Ryan said something in training yesterday about just all the objection handlers with listings, and there's an option for other, and the other was only 4% of people is that commission objection. And I'm going to be honest, with all the listing appointments I've been going on, that's my, that's my honestly my main objection. So I really have to get a little bit stronger in that and role play more. But even with this, if you present this, it looks a lot cleaner, like you took more time. And another thing Ryan said, and you guys can take it, is listen, just put me to work. I don't get paid until I list your home and I sell it. Even if I list it, I don't get paid. So if you sign the paperwork, I can start marketing, but there's nothing I could really do right now. So I just wanted to share that because I just thought about that when I was looking at this, and it may help you guys too.
Right. And something that you just mentioned, marketing. A report like this shows that you take that marketing seriously. If you show up with a professional report like this in a nice binded book and you present that to your seller, they are going to have no question that you're going to professionally market their property. If you're just showing out with a printout and a handful of papers from the MLS that are stapled, if it were me, I'd be like, you're going to market my home? Like this is a mess. You show up with this and it's binded and it looks all nice and it's branded to you. I've got no worries about how this person's going to market my home.
Agreed.
Any other questions on this?
So
Very
I have
intuitive.
a question.
What's up, Rosa?
So if the numbers for the prices in the CMA and the average the RPR number, like for example, a house in the RPR number is 480,000 and the CMA is 510,000. So what number do you take to tell the seller like I should like I think it's this is for example 480,000 or is 510,000?
I'm a little confused. So you mean like if the comp analysis, this number right here, if that's 480, and what's the other number you're getting?
Yeah, the comp number and the RPR number are different. Like when you go to RPR, they say what is the price for the house
Oh,
without.
I see. Okay. No, use your comp number. Because that RVM is just an estimate based on what RPR thinks that home is worth. A comp number is you doing the research and you selecting the homes that you think are comparable, and then you come up with the price. So if I was meeting with a seller for this house, I would say list it at 500. Just round it down or round it up to 510 or 515, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Use your comp number, the number that you came up with, rather than what they provided first. Good question. Anyone else have questions?
No, that was super good. I've had RPR for how long, and I used that, but I didn't do it as good as you. So Patrick, you always teach me something new. That was good.
Good, Kayla. I'm glad. Test this out. Do it on like your own home, your parents' home. Try it out on another property and see what happens. And the cool thing about this too is that if I make this seller's report for this address right here, 4 Walker Ave. If I come back to 4 Walker Ave, oops, on the home page, all that information that I plugged in here for the CMA is still here. So see, here's my CMA value. I've got an actual number in here, and that's the number that I used for my CMA. And then the info that I plugged in down here is still here. So it's not like it's going to delete all this stuff that you worked on. You can come back to this property at any point, and now you can just edit your CMA instead of creating a new one. So you can change the comps. You can add more info to it. You can change your adjustments. This stuff is all going to stay here. And if you adjust anything, just go down to the bottom and click create new report.
Privately, I can barely understand what you're
No.
saying.
Patrick, it says up on the top, this class is being recorded.